What habitats are there in Wembury and how have they changed?
Well, the main habitat I think about is the rocky shore, the rock pools. But there's the sand as well, so that would be a different habitat. And then around the coast there'd be the meadow and the trees. But I really think about the rocky shore, that's the habitat I'm interested in. And there've been a few changes, so in the last 7 years. So, well, mainly in the beach there's more sand now. Used to be lots of pebbles and now there's lots more sand on the beach. But in the rock pools maybe we're starting to see a few different creatures that like it if the sea's warming up, and creatures that don't like it, creatures that have come from other countries that are now in this country as well.
What is the rarest fish that you have seen?
The rarest fish? Well, there's a flatfish called a top knot, which is really unusual. I've only seen 1 or 2 of them. And there's a fish called a cork-wing wrasse, and I caught the first one I've ever caught of them a few days ago, and that's the first one I'd caught in 7 years. So those 2 are probably quite unusual. Yeah.
Have the amount of animals changed over time at the beach?
Well, the number of animals changes all the time, really. So sometimes there's more animals because the winter hasn't been very cold. And sometimes if we have a cold winter, that means there's fewer animals around. So sometimes pollution affects the number of creatures. There's a little snail called a dog whelk, which we didn't find for a long time at Wembury because of pollution. And then it started to live at Wembury again. So yeah, there's lots of changes. Everything changes with the season and with a year. 1 year we'll find lots of sea slugs, and then the next year there'll be no sea slugs at all. Maybe we'll find lots of crabs instead, and the next year lots of fish and a few sea slugs again. So there's always changes.